We are back and we are live in the top shelf domain. Y'all know what we got to do. We got to have some top shelf conversation. Let me get my brothers in here. So what's up, George? One second. We about to get my brothers in here. 1 second. Need a little bit. Just give me the light. Let me see. 1 second. We got a lot to talk about and a lot of things to discuss today. Let me get my brothers from another mother. They should be here at any second. I'm excited. What's up, Jeffrey?
Woo!
What's up,
Going on,
Anthony?
fellas?
Y'all
What's
see
good,
the brand
guys?
is strong.
Woo!
Top shelf.
I love it. I'm loving
You know
it.
what time it is. Top shelf.
I'm not showing my chest. I'm just showing top shelf right here.
Self-care is the best care.
That's it.
Woo!
We about to start doing a chant. Top shelf. Top shelf. Top shelf.
Word up.
That's what I like. All
It's
right,
good
that's
people.
what we got to do. This is the beginning of an amazing conversation, so we got to pray. And I nominate the prayingest man I know, my boy, Anthony. Anthony, can you pray for us today?
I swear, since I've been fasting, y'all be picking on me. But anyways, Lord God, I just want to say thank you.
Yes, Lord.
From the bottom of my heart, thank you. Someone asked me today, why you always say, how you doing? I always say amazing. Because I get a chance to have a conversation with you again. And I don't take that lightly anymore, Lord God. Thank you for our top shelf village. Thank you for my brothers. Let's have a great and amazing conversation, Lord God. Allow this conversation to heal someone. Allow this conversation to change the mind of someone. But allow this conversation to free someone. Lord God, lead this conversation in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. What's up,
Amen.
Lou? What is up, Ayana?
What's going on?
What's up,
If you're
yo?
now in the
What's up,
chat,
Eddie?
share
What's
this
good,
chat
bro?
with someone.
Top
This
shelf.
conversation is going to be on the next level. I'm
Yes.
proclaiming it right now.
Yes, sir. This is our conversation. Bro, thanks for reaching out.
Yeah.
The intro to this is like, me and my brothers, we watched the Pivot podcast. We are all fans of the Pivot podcast. And before that, the one with Brandon Marshall, why can't I remember the name? What is it, Jeff? The name of the one with Brandon Marshall that came out of this one?
I Am Athlete.
I Am Athlete. So we watch I Am Athlete as well. We, as a podcast, as a brand, we watch other brands, not to copy them, not to emulate them, but just to admire the quality, of
The
what
creativity.
and loving the conversations, what I'm saying? So we watched the I Am Athlete conversation with Mr. Micheal Beasley, you know what I'm saying? Started his career. We know he started his career with the Miami Heat, second round pick. And another great thing I forgot is Micheal Beasley. He went to K-State. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
Yeah, he went to Kansas State University. I forgot.
Yeah.
And it was so dope to hear his journey, and it was just great to hear all of these men in a conversation. These guys who were football legends talking to somebody who plays basketball about their perspective. That's where this conversation comes from. Let me tell you, this conversation was so good that my wife, she had to stop and really listen in on it.
Dissect.
What's up, Marylinda?
And really dissect it. She said it herself. She was like, y'all need to talk about this.
See?
So here we are.
Conversation, man.
It was amazing.
It was meant to be. It was meant to be. And we actually have had, for those our village that is listening, we actually had 2 other episodes where we talked about asking for help, and we talked about no one's coming, right? And we in these episodes, we had one therapist, and then we had another one where it was just us talking, and we were breaking it down and asked for help. We talked about boundaries, friendship, relationships, comfort, asking for what you want, Black folks in therapy, church and mental health, limits and beliefs. No One's Coming, we talked about independence and then codependency, and learning your environment, learning your worth, and this is why this conversation is so needed. It's so great for us to come back around to it and then make it an IG live, because as bro, thanks for reaching out, man. Like the Pivot podcast, talking about needing help, fellas. What was y'all first impression when y'all watched this episode of the Pivot?
So for me, it's like I follow Micheal Beasley. I follow his career. I remember when he got drafted. I remember he played for the Heat, and then he kind of like bounced around throughout his career. So I was already aware of his story. I was aware of like some of the, you can say, rumors or the perception that they had of Micheal Beasley, because he was a top athlete and he had the potential to be an all-star.
Yeah.
That's how gifted he was as far as with his talent. And they put a lot of stock on him, especially the Miami Heat. They put a lot of stock on him, and he didn't live up to that potential, not because he wasn't talented, not because he wasn't gifted at what he was doing. It just seemed that whatever that was going on behind the scenes, it seemed to kind of started to affect his career. So it was good just to see him on the Pivot and speak his story. And I felt like when I was watching it, it was like a lot of things started to make a little bit more sense. Like, I'm a sports guy, especially when it comes to like the NBA. Like, I'm a big NBA person, man. I love sports. So I love just seeing athletes sitting down, having a conversation, and they're talking about not just being an athlete, but what comes along with being an athlete and some of the pressure that they deal with when you are an athlete, and just normal, regular day to day. And what you end up finding out, at least especially with this particular episode, that you find out, you forget that these athletes, they're just like us. They have their own, they have the same struggles that we go through, but theirs is in a much bigger scale because they are athletes. So they come with this price tag or this perception that they're making millions and millions of dollars and they got to live in this amazing lifestyle. And then people are going to leech off of them and want to try to like feel like they deserve some of what they have been given as athletes. But people forget that they have their own issues. They have their own mental health issues sometimes that they deal with. And just because you're in the spotlight doesn't mean that it minimizes. If anything, it brightens it. And that's the thing that I saw, that when I watched it, it reminded me of it, because I was hearing all of these rumors, because he's not an outspoken person. He didn't do a lot of interviews throughout his career. So it's not like you really knew from his perspective, but people wrote a narrative about him. And again, like, it affected his career.
Yeah, and it's just like, it's like what they said with that saying, new levels, new devils. When you get to a higher level, there's more things you have to deal with. It was, that's why this conversation was so important and so great, and so poignant. Anthony, I wanted to ask you, bro, what did you think about when he said, I mean, not what he said, but when people want your talent as opposed to like ask for who you are, like they want your talent. They just want to hone in, like in Micheal Beasley's case, because he was coming from that perspective of like, they just wanted me to shut up and play basketball.
Yeah. And I remember that happened to LeBron as well, when he was politically talking about Black Lives Movement, so I don't know if it was Fox News, but when the interviewer in live TV said, "Why don't you just dribble?" It's like that individual don't have a voice. That individual can't talk, and I think that's what Micheal Beasley came from. It's like, I want to create my own narrative, but I don't even know how to, because they already paint me for someone that I am not. And for the question that you just asked, from my perspective, I feel like in that time period, basketball players did not have a voice. In that time period, it was not looked upon as, you know what, this person can have a voice and still play basketball.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that I believe like it's sad. Like I could really see him breaking, you know?
Yeah,
Cause he was really, you can see he was trying to break it down, but he's like, y'all don't, cause he kept saying, y'all don't understand, man. You don't understand. Like, you don't get it. Like, y'all
yeah,
going through stuff, but I've been through stuff, and I don't feel like I can talk to anybody about this. Like, I don't feel like y'all would get it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
it's not within y'all realm, because this is why he didn't do many interviews, as Jeff
yeah.
was stating, is because I don't feel like I don't feel like y'all get it. Like,
Yeah, he was quiet.
And let's
He was
yeah.
break
actually
down. I
very. He
think we
was
should
very
hold
quiet.
on. We should break down. Y'all don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all don't get it is a framework of y'all don't get my struggle. Y'all don't get my experience. I want to come to somebody that does get it, but
Mm-hmm.
are they gonna really understand my pain?
Absolutely.
I'm not an NBA player. I'm a human being.
Right.
So if I come to you, are y'all really gonna understand it?
Mm-hmm.
Are you gonna be there tomorrow?
Right.
Because when he was talking about, like, he reached out to people,
Right.
but they said, "Okay, yo, bro, I'm going to help you," and then the following day, you can't hear from that person. Because you are, as a man, you are looking for that call,
Right.
and then you get to a point, and I think in the conversation where there were three brothers there saying, "I will help you."
Yeah.
How can I help you? But in his world, it became like, yo, I'm gonna do this by myself. Because that's the first way of trauma, when you start to identify your world as, I'm going to do this by myself because I'm tired of being disappointed. I'm tired
Yeah.
of my own family members failing me.
Mm-hmm. And he kept saying that everybody is taking from me.
Yeah,
Everybody
Yeah.
keeps taking from me. Everybody keeps stealing from me. He's like, even my own mom, like, stole from me.
yeah,
People keep stealing from me, and that developed that bigger layer, that wall that made him not want to trust. Like this quote he said, he was like, you can't. He was like, why did, like, I think one of the moderators, they asked him. I think it was Fred that may have asked him this. He's like, no, it was Channing. Channing was saying, he was like, why you couldn't, like, all of these people around you, you couldn't go to nobody in the NBA, like, when he was trying to explain, like, when he was going through stuff, and he was like, he came out with this quote. He said, you can't explain $1 million problems to people who have never seen $10 before.
yeah. It's a
Which is true.
different conversation. That's so true. $1 million conversation is different from a $10.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
and I know, like, in his career, he had, like, people were vouching for him. Because I remember, like, during his career, because I follow his career. Because I was, during the time when he got signed to, I was a Heat fan, right? And then I remember him getting traded and going to different teams. And I remember, like, people were vouching for, like, I know, like, Dwayne Wade, because he played with Dwayne Wade. Dwayne Wade was vouching for him. Other athletes, I think even LeBron James, he played with LeBron briefly. They vouched for him because they knew the type of talent that he had. There were rumors saying he actually would beat LeBron one-on-one a lot of times during practice because he was nice. But I think what sometimes tends to happen is that when you come into the arena that he came into, as far as the NBA, with trauma and never dealt with the trauma, and then
Right.
now there's much more pressure is
Yeah,
being added to you. You don't know how to deal with it. You don't know how to
yeah,
express it, and then
yeah,
you have trust issues, right?
yeah,
And you have outside influence from home, like he was saying, like, people constantly want to take from me, right? So
yeah,
I got to deal with trying to be an NBA star. I
Mm-hmm.
got to worry about, at the time he's playing with the Miami Heat, right? This is when he's first started
yeah,
his career. And Miami has a lot of distraction. Remember, this is South Beach. This is, you know what
yeah,
I'm saying? This is, anybody that have ever lived in Miami or gone to Miami, you know how the culture is over there, right? So you
yeah,
got that influence, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
You have all these different things that's just kind of playing a role. There's a huge responsibility that comes along with being an athlete. And
yeah,
it's like, if you've already have issues,
yeah,
trauma that's already been there, it's just going to enhance it. And then
yeah,
this is where, like, the struggle
Hey,
really
Celeste.
becomes in. And then
Mm-hmm.
now people may try to help, but they're not giving. But it may not be the help that he feel like he needs or that he
Correct.
wants. People are vouching for him, right? Because I think he went a period of time where he went, I think maybe like a year without playing, and people were trying to vouch for him to get him back into the league, right? Yo, this team could sign you, blah, 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 and he ended up doing it, but teams didn't want to sign him because, again, they were afraid of the perception, the rumors that they were hearing about him behind the scenes. Again, Micheal Beasley wasn't talked about a whole lot as far as like with the media, but behind the scenes, there was this
Yeah.
narrative that he was being painted. Not so much he wasn't a good basketball player, it was just that he
The
comes with
narrative.
baggage. He comes with
Character.
baggage, comes with issues.
And once that narrative is painted, it's hard for them to ever get rid of it.
Yeah.
A lot of the times.
What's
And
up, Celeste?
you're stamped.
Yeah.
You're stamped.
And I think one thing I believe and I know, I think once you come from a certain area or anybody in regards to the NBA, you should be assigned a therapist. The same way you have to do a whole psychological test to become a
100.
cop, I think as an NBA, because at this moment, I think you said in the beginning, you're just there for their talent.
Yeah.
You're not there for mental. You're not just
No.
you're there just for your physical ability.
Right.
That's what they sign you. That's what they sign you up for, just for that.
So it's like
they pay you
you're not there.
$1 like, I don't want to hear it.
I think what LeBron did that was amazing, he changed the game when he came in. He gave it okay to, I can speak about political things and still play basketball. Mm-hmm. I can open up schools and still play basketball. Mm-hmm. I can wear this shirt and still play basketball because I know where I come from.
Yeah. Yeah.
But can a lot of people do that? Maybe not. But in the same perspective, it's like at this moment, I'm going to go back to it. Every basketball player, every entertainer, every rapper, I believe that they should be assigned a mental therapist. For example, DMX, he wrote in one of his lines, I'm slipping, I'm falling, I can't get up. I'm slipping, I'm falling, I gotta get up. So in my mind, if I'm his A&R, all the people around him, yo, DMX needs somebody. He's slipping. Something's going on with him. But nobody did that.
Yeah.
So, I think from that perspective, it's like, yo, how do we, as black men, and I'm talking just for my black men, how do we get help in a silent world where we don't know how to create a conversation like, bro, thanks for reaching out. How can we be more vulnerable in community, in spaces that maybe don't look like me, maybe they don't look like you, but how can we be in spaces where we say, yo, I don't know what to do next. I'm slipping, I'm falling, I can't get up.
So I think it's two factors. I think one of the factors is like I like how you said, like, you know, they should have like a mental health counselor or a mentor. And a lot of times with a lot of like rookies, when they come to the NBA, they're given a mentor, right? So they do have like a mentor. They don't have maybe a mental health therapist given to them, but they do always assign them like a mentor, like an OG. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That comes in there is like, okay, yo, I'm gonna kind of like help you navigate through everything that's going on. Like when Gary Payton played with the Lakers, he played briefly with the Lakers with Kobe. Even though Kobe was already like several years into the game, but Gary Payton, you know, he's an OG at this point. He helped mentor Kobe Bryant, especially when he went through this whole court case that he had in Denver. You know what I'm saying? He said that in an interview. Jordan was also one of his mentors. You have even, well, I don't know so much in the rap world if that's also the same thing. Nah. I know like as athletes, they are given mentors, right? Yeah. To kind of help them because there's a lot of pressure that comes along to it. So that's number one. You know what I'm saying? It's like, they need to have mentors. They need to have like a mental health counselor. They need to like have somebody they can trust. Number two is they have to be willing to get help because sometimes some people just don't want it. You could counsel them. Like DMX, for an example, we all love DMX, right? X Forever. Everybody knew DMX had issues and he cried out for it, but one minute he wants to help, one minute he didn't want to help, right? It was hard to penetrate through X sometimes. And apparently, again, this is for me following Micheal Beasley's career. There were similar situations because I know Dwayne Wade, again, vouched for him, right? He was kind of took him under his wing.
Right.
But sometimes it's hard to penetrate pause into somebody when they got other things that's going on, right?
Yeah.
So it has to. So that's the other side of it. Like that person has to be willing to. Like anybody who's a counselor, right? I know Marilyn is a counselor. I know your wife is a counselor, Anthony. I'm sure they could somewhat agree to this. What I'm about to say is that they could have a session, right, with a client, and the client is telling their situation, why they're there for. But and obviously as the therapist, you're basically giving this person some advice and counsel and ways to kind of help deal with the situation. But if that person's rejecting it, refusing it, or like just not with it, or not taking what you're giving to them, there's only so much you can do, right? So it has to be twofold. But I do think, like, especially as brothers, as Black men, as people, is that if we are going through something, we have to be willing to, one, find somebody that you can be vulnerable with, right? Build a bond and build a trust with whoever it is, right? You have a youth circle, but you may feel silent and not physically there within that circle because you feel you can't trust nobody, right?
Right.
And that trust could be stemmed from nothing within your circle. It could just be from past hurt and trauma that you've never healed from.
Correct.
And people are willing to put their arms around you like, yo, bro, I got you. Yo,
Yeah.
my man, talk to me. What's going on? You know what I'm saying? Me and Anthony, we had a real conversation. I don't know if Anthony remembers this conversation, maybe like a couple weeks or a month, right? And me and Anthony, we go back and forth. That's my bro. Right? I love Anthony with that. He's my brother. And I told Anthony, I am a little older than Anthony. I told Anthony during this conversation, it's like, yo, bro, it doesn't matter what happens. I'm always going to be here. I'm not giving up on you. Because we had like a little back and forth in exchange. I don't know if Anthony, if you remember this. But I let him know that no matter what was going on, I'm here. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather tell you the truth and you hate me, but I'm still going to be here than tell you a lie. And then you're going to be like, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? And that's it. So I think it's like getting that bond and that trust and not being afraid to be vulnerable and be honest with whoever you need to be and like be okay. Anthony always says like, it's okay. It's okay to say, I need help. And it's also okay to receive that help. Doesn't make you less of a man. Doesn't make you less of a person. If anything, it makes you a real individual human being. You know what I'm saying? So that's my perspective and my points with that.
So let's break that down because this is a good learning point in regards to solution. That's something that we pride ourselves on. So we had a back and forth. And you affirmed me saying, yo, bro, I got you. Yeah, we having a back and forth because in my mind, I'm like, yo, who the F this guy think he talking to? Like, and that could be my mind, and I could carry that with me and not have a conversation with you.
Correct.
And I could be like, I can hang up the phone and like never talk to you because of that altercation that we had.
Absolutely.
But then I could call you back and was like, bro, can we talk real quick? And then I can express to you, you know what, bro? Thank you for coming to me.
Right.
Thank you for acknowledging something that was going on. But right there is an emotional intelligence that we need to start teaching our younger, I was about to say students, our younger youths. I think there should be a class on emotional intelligence or just how to have language and conversation with your brothers or sisters. Because all of this starts from young.
Correct.
It literally, all this trauma and thoughts, it starts from a young age.
Absolutely.
Because I could be a victim in my mind since I was 8. And now I'm growing up and I'm saying, yo, no one around me I can trust.
Very true.
Absolutely nobody.
Absolutely.
So you coming to me, I'm now in a relationship. I'm now the president of the CEO. I'm now what you call it, a father, and you asking me how I feel? Yo, you can't tell me how I feel. I don't know how to explain that to you.
Right. Absolutely.
And I think when you were saying like, yo, you don't understand me, is because he's like, yo, I don't even know how to explain myself to you.
Yeah.
That's true.
Because one thing he said is like, I forgot to put people's name and I apologize, Pivot. But he pointed to everybody. He pointed to 3 people that was talking to him. He said, yo, y'all all got 3 different narratives of me.
Yep.
And I gotta show up and be myself every day. That shit is hard.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I say entertainers need
Woo!
to have, the entertainers definitely need to have a therapist, because
Most definitely.
a billion people are looking at them, and Instagram and social media don't even make it bad good.
Talk, Anthony. Talk.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. So I get emotional because we gotta protect our black men, not cancel them.
Yeah.
Trevor Noah said it the best.
Right.
Let's not cancel him. Let's have a conversation.
Yeah. He said
Yeah.
counsel can. I said counsel can. You're not cancel him.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
I wanted to say this, like point blank period. Pause for the cause right here, Anthony, because this conversation is getting great. But before, like, for the people that we do have in here, I wanted to announce.
Yeah.
We just got a couple announcements for y'all real quick. That we have a busy week. Top Shelf has a busy week coming up. So it's Women's History Month.
Woo!
This Thursday, women are taking over the Top Shelf podcast. Y'all ain't gonna see us. We gonna be in the chat with y'all, just chilling, kicking it. So we have Miss Teray that's joining us. We have Miss Ayana that's joining us, and Miss Cordelia, which is, my little sister. I'm kind of partial to her, you know what I'm saying? That's my baby, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, they are going to do an amazing job. They're going to be the three that you see. This is the Top Shelf Ladies edition.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell y'all the topic, but it's just going to be fire. This Thursday, tune in. It's going to be live. It's going down same time. The women are taking over.
Fact.
Okay?
That was a commercial. I think that was a commercial because I got a little heated.
And also, don't forget, tomorrow is Top Shelf Tuesday. Top Shelf Tuesday. Y'all don't want to miss it. Tune in. It was a fire episode that we recorded. I can't wait for this joint to come out. Like, it's an amazing episode, and y'all can find us definitely on Anchor. Check us out on Anchor. I know Anchor is a new platform. Definitely go in, subscribe, check us out, and get with us. And y'all can find us on all streaming platforms. We definitely will remind you at the end of this live, but we just want to let y'all know Top Shelf got a busy week coming up. All right?
Thanks for the commercial break. Yo, real talk. And I get like this because, like, when you look at just not entertainers, because Jeff said he knew him from like growing up and watching NBA. When I watched it, that question you asked, I just saw a black man lost, respectfully.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to like, I really just wanted to hug him, like, yo, bro, I got you, bro.
Yeah.
But even me saying I got you, bro, he can't even identify that that's the most beautiful thing you can say to a black man. It's like, yo, I got you, bro.
Right.
And show up consistently. Not even 365 days. It's your lifestyle.
Right. And he's like around our age. That's the point. And like the thing was, I was like, when he said being black is fake. Nobody cares until we die. We need help. Like, we're out here crying for help, and nobody is trying to help us until it's final. Until we're gone. That's when they're like, oh, that's why that was that way. My heart was breaking when he was saying he feels like he's always the butt of the joke. He always had to be the sacrificial lamb in different situations. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, to feel like that. I never want somebody in my circle or who I'm attached to be like, I have this crowded loneliness thing going on. Yeah. And I just stay in the house and stay to myself all day, every day.
But he said he realized
that's common too.
And he realized that when he was 10. Go ahead, bro. Sorry about that.
No. I was just saying, I was just like, he didn't feel like he can trust anybody. He was talking about how He's like, yeah, I tell people my secrets, and then the secrets they turn into information for people. You know, and but here's the thing: you don't have to be a Micheal Beasley to be for somebody to feel this way. You know,
Yeah.
you don't have to be an NBA celebrity superstar. There's a
You
lot of
gotta be a
people
human being.
yeah, that's why.
100%.
Why do you think there's certain people that you work with, or like let's say in the office or school, wherever you work, that feel like they don't want to communicate with anybody. They just want to do a job, get the thing, you know, get their money and go home. You know what I'm saying? And that's well within their right. But a lot of people feel like they just need to be closed off.
Yeah.
They don't feel like
because
people care.
yeah, because of that, because of past trauma, past hurt. I had a coworker who I get, I was about to shout out, but I was like, I'm not gonna put a business out there. But she was very much like that. She was very closed off when I first met her, and it was because of that. We ended up becoming really cool, but it's because she always was like, I don't trust people. I don't trust people. But you could tell that came from a certain space. That came from a place of being deceived and being hurt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And not so much only from the workplace. I mean, it could have been possibly, but I think it was much deeper than that, because I think it was just not only from the workplace. She would say, she was, I just don't rock with people like that. So it's something probably stemmed from her childhood, where maybe from high school, maybe elementary school, maybe within her confines of her own home. And sometimes that happens. People carry hurt with them.
Yeah.
And if you've been hurt too many times by people, especially different people that you've
Yeah.
been close with, people that you confide in, it makes it hard for you to trust a stranger. Makes you hard for you to trust somebody you just met, even if that person has good intentions, even if that person is really like, yo, bro, I got you. You know what I'm saying? I'm here for you. It's hard for them to really like, how do I know that? Because I've heard this before.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like a
Somebody
tape
told me this
recorder.
before, and then I got hurt.
You don't show
They
up.
told my business. They backstabbed me.
Facts.
That person doesn't show up. You know what I'm saying? So how can I? And the only thing that you can do is just be consistent with that person, and just allow them to take the time that they need to really allow you into their world, allow you into their circle. So eventually they probably will open up. You can't force it on that person, because a lot of times people are like that. You can't force it on them, because they're gonna take it as like, yo, what are you trying to get out of this? You know what I'm saying? It turns them off. So you gotta just like, yo, just throw it out there. I'm here for you. Every now and then, yo, anything that you need, I'm here. You know what I'm saying? And then just let them gain that trust. It's like a wounded animal, like a wounded dog. You know, if you ever met got a dog from a shelter that's been abused, the first time if you adopt that animal, or that dog rather, they're very scared and timid, right? Because they don't know if you're gonna be like their previous owner or their previous encounter they had with a human being, that you're gonna hurt them. Right? You got to kind of like give that dog time to really warm up to you and trust you. But once that dog is able to do it, the loyalty is there unconditionally. And sometimes that happens with people. It's like you got to like just little by little show that person that you're there for them. And then what's going to happen is eventually they're going to gain that trust, and they're going to realize, okay, this person's not here to hurt me. This person's not here to deceive me. Like all the other 50 people who's done that, they're really here to like, they really care about my spirit. They really care about my fears. They really care about my concerns. They really want to help me navigate through life. And with Micheal Beasley and the other millions of Micheal Beasleys that's out there, because it's like what Anthony said, and you said it too, Fred. It doesn't. The only difference between Micheal Beasley and anybody else that's going through the same thing is that he's just an athlete, and he was in the limelight. That's the only difference. Other than that, you know what I'm saying? He wakes up. You know what I'm saying? We all wake up the same way. We all put our pant leg one leg at a time. We all breathe the same air. We're all exactly the same. So which means that we may have similar or the same type of struggles. So I would just encourage anybody who is watching is to, if you are in that situation, if you are dealing with those trust issues, see who's within your circle, see who's within your village. We like to use the word village and community a lot. See if there's anybody that's there that has been consistent with their actions. right? Don't allow that trauma or that hurt to prevent from what God is putting before you with the people that is around you. And if you are in a circle where you see that the person doesn't show up, they are constantly negative. They're constantly, they want you to be what they want you to be what they want you to be, right? You can't be yourself around that person. Then reevaluate. Find a different circle. You know what I'm saying? Come to the Top Shelf Village. We here, like, we show love to everybody. We console everybody, and we generally are like that because we generally care about people. We generally care about our village, and we're always here. We want to build that community. We're not just up here just to have conversation, just for you guys to hear us talk. We're not recording just to record. You know what I'm saying? Just so it sounds nice. This is not what it's about. God didn't give us the ability and the courage to allow ourselves to be vulnerable in front of people that we know and people that we don't know. We're doing this for a reason. We're doing it because we want to help people. We want to be part of people's lives and help them get out of some of the dark clouds that they have. We want to be like Anthony said, like when he see Micheal Beasley, he just wants to give him a hug and be like, yo, bro, I got you. This is what we're about, and this is why we have these type of conversations.
Go off, bro. Do your thing. Love it.
I think I was gonna say, if we really think about it, there's always a person in our circle that's like this. Like, no matter what we think, no matter what, if we think that, like, oh yeah, they great, they good, but if you sit down and you actually ask this person, you talk to this person, you could really find out. I wanted to ask you guys, like Ayana said something in the chat that's key. She was like, but how many people are actually
I can't see the chat for consistent?
She said, how many people are going to be consistent actually?
And that's a good thing. And it goes back to my thought. It's like, yo, real talk, I really don't think human beings know how to be consistent. There's certain individuals, and it's very rare that you get consistent people. And that's why my three pillars in regards to human being is loyalty, respect, and love. And those are the three things I look for in regards to my friendship. So if I call you my brother or my sister, that means that you have completed these three things in my life.
Yeah, I think too.
And that's I'm being honest and transparent. That's a really hard thing for people.
Yeah,
to be consistent.
I was gonna say too, and to your point, and not to cut you off, bro.
No worry, bro.
No, but I was just gonna say to your point, I feel like people have the willingness to be consistent. It's just that sometimes we fall short.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of times,
and that's where grace comes in.
There we go. And then I was talking to so for instance, my best friend Jesus, right? Like on every 2 months. I want to say every 2 months or something like that. It's somewhere around every 2 months or another. Like, I will go out of my way, or he'll go out of his way, and we'll tell each other how much we appreciate each other. And I'm like, bro, thank you for like still being in my life, bro. Like, you done seen me through different things. You've seen me through different chapters of my life, bro. You've seen me not married, and now that I am married, you're still friends with me. You didn't go anywhere. You still got my back to this day, no matter what. Like, I can confide in you. I know you. We are quote unquote good friends. And I know for a fact, Jeff, you got somebody in your corner like that. Like that person that you do check-ins with, you know what I'm saying? And you might not necessarily do it like I do it with Jesus, right? But you do it a different way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I feel like for me, the one thing that let me know that Jesus was consistent in my life was just that there was times me and him could sit and we just chilling, and we could be going to a movie, going to go eat something, basketball game, whatever, to the gym, whatever, and we could sit there in silence and just be like, yeah, we here, bro. We here. We good. Like, I'm here for you. You here for me. We here. And that's what matters.
And you feel that, bro.
And you feel it, right?
Yo, you feel that. It's like, yo.
And I wanted to give you, the second thing I wanted to say was that I wanted to give y'all flowers too. I feel the same exact way with y'all as my brothers. Like I feel
that, bro.
Like y'all been to my life events. You've been to my wedding. Both of you guys. Even when Jeff was like, man, I don't know, I'm not, it's okay if you take me off the guest list. I was like, nigga, you here. You in my
Oh, yeah, that was during COVID. That was during COVID.
I was like, he was like, I'm just saying. I was like, no, I insist.
Yeah, because there was a limited amount of people that could attend. So I was like, listen, I don't have to be in the priority list, but you got my love and support one way or another.
Right.
I
appreciate it because Jeff gave me a choice, and then Anthony allowed me to be a groomsman, and I barely even knew him a year. Like I was like, nigga, I don't know you.
Yeah.
He was like, but I'm inviting you in. You know what I'm saying? I want you to be a part of my circle because I see the goodness. You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, and I was honored, and I love you, brothers.
And I thank you for that, and I appreciate that, Flower, and I acknowledge that, bro. And flowers go back out to you, bro, for being consistent and for being my brother, bro.
Yeah, but I want to ask y'all for those Micheal Beasleys out there, like, what is this solution, or is there a solution for them?
I think that's a good segue for what Ayana was talking about. It's like that grace part is that shit is hard. Yes. I'm not gonna lie. It's grace, but it's like, yo, how much time I'm gonna give you grace? Like at this moment,
I'll break it down this way.
I'm living in this grace and I'm trying to pray for you. At this moment, I gotta protect myself.
So this is what you have to do. So when it comes to grace, you should always give grace, but it doesn't mean that you always have to be part of the trauma or situation the person is going through, right? You give them grace to where it doesn't affect you now. So now what happens is that when you're looking at consistency, sometimes people get consistency and expectations mixed up, right? Because your expectation could be very unrealistic, right? You may have an expectation that every single time that you call that person, they're supposed to answer the phone.
Exactly.
Not understanding that the person may be married, the person may be at work, the person has their own responsibilities, right?
Absolutely.
So you got to look at what is your expectation? Is it attainable even for yourself if it was the other way around, right? And then what I always say is that when you want to look at somebody and see that and talk about who you can trust and the consistency part, all these things that falls under that umbrella, see how they treat other people.
Yeah, correct.
Literally focus on that. So I think that's such an underrated thing or overlooked thing rather. See how they treat other people. If you see that this person is shady with that person, you see that they're not always there for people that they're supposed to be there for, I guarantee you that the same thing will happen to you. Exactly. So you keep your distance, or you know what I'm saying. You keep them within you just keep them within a certain distance, right?
Right.
Because you know eventually you may get burned, especially if you're somebody who's already have been hurt and traumatized before. You know what I mean? So I would say kind of look at those small details, right? How they are with people around them. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's their loved ones, whether if it's with their loved ones, their partner, friends, whatever it. Like, you know what? I could probably rock with that person. If you see they're kind of finicky and shaky,
facts.
Don't make excuses for them. Give them the grace.
Yeah.
Because again, God gives us unlimited grace.
Yeah.
Give them the grace. Doesn't mean that you have to hang out with them. Doesn't mean that you have to be part of their life. It just means that, hey, I'm giving them grace. I allow God to deal with them. I'm gonna keep it pushing. I'm gonna look at other people, and you don't have to necessarily have 100 people in your village. You can have just 5 people that you rock out and bang out with that that is going to be there for you during your most troubled times. And understand, if that person can't be there, ask yourself this question: is it that because they couldn't, or because they didn't want to? Right. I always tell people, if I don't do something, it's because most likely it's because I couldn't do it, not because I didn't want to do it. You get what I'm saying? So somebody calls, let's say, for instance, it was yo, Jay, I need a ride to the airport. I'm like, yo, I can't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Some people may take that to heart, like, damn, man, yo, I need a ride to the airport. Yo, you're supposed to be my son. You're supposed to be my man. You could take him to the airport, but I might be stuck at work. So I
You're not
always
talking about me, right?
you know what I'm saying? Nah, but I always get that sense like,
I'm joking.
so you got to look at that. Like, is it because they couldn't,
Right.
or is it because that they don't want to? And if you see it, this is the type of person that that's why I said expectations. Again, expectation versus consistency. You know what I'm saying? Is it unrealistic expectations that they're supposed to drop every single thing that they do every single time for you? But the reality is, some people can't. If that person has this high expectation for you,
tell me when you finish.
Definitely, I got you. That may be also a person that you may want to, again, like, you know, I'm gonna keep a little distance from, because I'm always going to disappoint this person. I'm never going to live up to what they perceive me to be in their life, and that's going to cause me my own trauma and my own hurt, and I can't do it. Go ahead, bro.
So that's so funny.
She everywhere but in the comments. Everywhere but
so
in the
two
comments.
things are happening in my head, and I'm be transparent. So what comes up in my head is like, I'm going to tell you how to treat me as a friend.
Come
and
on.
I'm going to communicate to you how I want to be treated. If you make a choice as an adult, this is where the respect comes in. Loyalty, respect, and love. If you make a choice as an adult to disrespect me after I gave you the knowledge, you only got one try. I tell my students and I tell my friends, if it happens to me, and you only got one try. The second thing is, I get you, Jeff, regards of grace. That's beautiful, but I'm coming from disappointment, like Ayana was talking about, and I'm not there yet. And because I'm going to come from disappointment first, because I don't want to get hurt in the way of giving you grace.
But I was going to, can I add something?
But don't you want somebody
bro.
to give you, go ahead, friend.
I was just going to say, like, but if you do that by that same philosophy, you're always going to be disappointed then. Because you can't
100%.
continue to put your faith in every single person. Like people are going to disappoint you. Because the thing is, you put your faith in one person, right? You put your faith in that person, and they give you what you need every single time. Like they're like, yo, like you be like, yo, I need money for Metro. Okay, here you go, bro. Boom. Hey, bro, can you pick me up to go to the gym? Perfect. Yeah, I got you. Boom. Hey, bro, can you help me out? Like, yo, bro, I got some studying I need to do. Can I stay at your place real quick? You know, I need some place quiet. Yeah, of course. Come on over. Boom.
I got an example too.
That one time, though, and he'd be like, yo, bro, can I borrow your laptop real quick? Yeah, bro, I got some work I gotta get done today. Oh man, you not gonna do your laptop. You see what I'm talking about? It's just like you're putting your faith in somebody so much, and you gotta remember that they ain't God.
Facts.
You know, you're giving them so much weight.
And that's a great point. And let me just piggyback over that, and I'm gonna tap you in, Jeff. That was a point where in my 20s, that was hard. Step. Because it was like, yo, you came one, you came twice, and then third, when you didn't do it, oh snap. Like, I don't think this person's my friend anymore. So when Jeff validated, like, yo, bro, I'm still gonna be here, because in my 30s, I was still carrying that 20 thought process. When he said that, I was like, let me try something different.
Right.
Because at this moment, my brother's being vulnerable with me. I allow myself to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
Go in, bro.
No, exactly. And I want to add into that, because I'm looking at it. It's like, just because we get into a disagreement, or just because, like, yo, I can't do this, doesn't mean I ain't with you.
Correct.
You get what I'm saying? So we put sometimes these unreal, and this is where grace comes in, because I had to give you grace. Like, understand, like, let me give Anthony grace, so he, you know, because he may be in his feelings, but I'm gonna give him grace. This is why it's like, I'm still here with you. If I had that mentality, like you were saying, like, yo, but you know, you only can give so much grace, you and I may not be friends.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be like, yo, you know what? This is too much. I'm out. But I'm not doing that. I literally told you one day, like, bro, I'm gonna rock with you until you hate me.
Yeah.
Period. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not gonna be anything that I've done on my end.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So, but I wanted to kind of go give an example of an actual situation. that, and you know, I don't do names, but I'll tell you the story, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, Friday night I was out with my cousin. It was his birthday, right? And he was telling me a particular situation, particularly somebody he helped with that I know personally too as well, right? Family member, right? And this is a family member who he's very loyal to the core. I love my cousin, right? He's my big bro, but he has his issues, right? He has his issues that makes it sometimes challenging, right?
Mm-hmm.
Straight to to make a long story short, my cousin went out his way to help him out with a situation, right? Put his name on the line to help him out. It was like, yo, you need this. I'm gonna pay you with this to help you for you to get it. All right, cool. Because my cousin did not have to do what he did, but he did it because it's like, yo, you my cousin, you my man. I'm going to help you. Mind you, there's already a history of us helping. I didn't help in this situation because I didn't know of it, but I'm saying us in a sense is like we've always been there to help him, just like he's been there to help us,
Yeah.
right? But if things doesn't go his way, he lashes out, right? But we're still there. We're still there for him. So now in the situation, he gets the help that he needs. Things don't pan out with what he received the way he thought it was going to. That's beyond anybody else's control. What he starts doing, he starts blowing up my cousin's phone, right? And starts like, yo, this is this person's fault. This basically blaming everybody but himself.
But not yourself.
Mm-hmm. And so my cousin's like, yo, this is why I don't want to help this guy, because it's like every single time that I do, it's always something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Always something. But what he did is like, you know what? I'm going to give him the, because he'd be like, you know what? I'm not giving no grace to him, and that's it. That could sound crazy, but he does. But what he also takes out of it too is like, you know what? I'm going to also start limiting. I'm going to be there for him. But certain things, I'm going to have to put boundaries around, because I cannot keep getting myself wrapped up into something that's going to start affecting me. And this person's not acknowledging that. You get what I'm saying? So so when it comes down to the grace, it comes to the expectation. Sometimes some people have expectation that's way up here that's unrealistic, right? It doesn't mean a person is not consistent. It just means like, yo, I'll be consistently there when the time is needed. You know what I'm saying? I'm here for you, but I can't be there with you every second of the day. I can't be there to hold your hand every second of the day. I can't be your crutch.
Yeah,
absolutely. I can't. And not all the time. I could be there for you and help you, but I can't be there all the time, especially if there's going to be a history or turnaround where it's like it's going to come back on me, and you're not even going to be there to acknowledge it. You know what I'm saying? So I think
and that's the hard part.
It is. It's very hard, and a lot
you
of
get to the finish line, you by yourself.
Bro, a lot of us struggle with it. We all do. We all been through it. So I get it. And I understand why sometimes it's hard for us to put trust in people. I understand sometimes why it's hard for us to give grace to people. But you know, when you know the beautiful thing about giving grace, you're releasing the power. It doesn't mean you're not allowing that person to have power over you or that situation. You give it grace, you let it go. Again, it doesn't mean that my cousin says like, yo, I'm still gonna be there for him, but I'm gonna put boundaries around it, because like, yo, I can't keep on getting myself in these situations. You could put limits to it, but you're still there for that person when he needs you or she needs you the most. But it's not gonna be for every little petty thing or whatever, because eventually that person got to take responsibility for their own actions. They got to start taking responsibility for their own trauma. They got to start taking responsibility for their own healing. You know what I'm saying? They have to. It's not. It's there's only so much that anybody or one person can do.
Right.
And I think in that conversation, and I think I don't know. I think believe your cousin. I think he should go to that friend or cousin and say, "Yo, this is how I feel in the situation at this moment." Huh?
That's the thing. He has.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, definitely. Listen, when I'll just speak for my family. One thing with us, if there's an issue, we're gonna talk to you about it. You know what I'm saying? If there's a problem, we're gonna chop it up.
Right.
But he has, and I'm glad you actually re-asked or brought that, because that's what you're supposed to do. That's what you should do. But he did, and here's the turnaround. He did it numerous times. I have, but it ends up happening again. And again, it doesn't mean he's not a good dude, because he is. Doesn't mean that he won't be there for myself or for my cousin, because he will. It's that sometimes we have unrealistic expectations that does not pan out to what the reality is. Fred says all the time. He says all the time with him and his wife, like, expectation versus reality. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes we have to look at that even with the friendships that we have, and what is expected from the friendships or the relationships that we have with that person. Look how that person treats you. Look at not even treats you. Well, yes, that too. But look how that person treats other people. Because my cousin, when I was referring to, the one who kind of spazzed out, he could never say truthfully, and he never will say that we have not been there for him. You know what I'm saying? We have, but it's like, bro, limits have to be put sometimes, especially when we become, especially as adults.
And I think that's where you start with, bro, can we talk?
Right. Right. And as we said, I think it was in our Ask for Help episode, your wife so brilliantly stated is like, what is the solution for our friendship?
Yeah.
You know? Like, you got to have a solution for your
that.
friendship. Like, do you have a resolve? Like, because a lot of times there could be so many problems that are mounting up, and you're like, I've known this person for years, and I don't want them to like take this the wrong way. But if it's affecting your peace, if it's affecting your mind, your mentality, and everything around you, then you gotta say something. The Bible does command us to forgive 70 times 7, right? But at the same time, it's just like we still have to be mindful too. Yeah, because like Anthony said, to his point, it's like grace itself is a harder thing to practice too. Regardless if you're new or not. What if you have a temper and then you telling somebody like, yo, practice grace? You know what I'm saying? It can be a harder thing. Which moves me to the point that I was stating before. It's like, what is our resolution? What is for the people that are like Micheal Beasley? What is our solution for these people? Like, what is not even for these people, but for the people that are in our circle, in our village, people that are like this, you know?
I would say start pray. I'm usually on pray. Pray for that person. Definitely pray. Ask God to open up their hearts, open up their minds, to sow them and to surround them with the right people, right? And then number two, if you know that person, or if you are that person, be willing to receive, right? And it's okay to be guarded. It's okay, because if you've been hurt, it's okay. You're going to naturally be guarded. But you eventually have to put that guard down. Right? Because sometimes when you're so guarded, you make it even difficult for God to even penetrate to you, right? And that's what he may be trying to do to you. Like, he's trying to open up. He wants you to open up. He wants you to put that guard down and to receive what he's trying to give you, right? So it's okay to be guarded, but eventually you got to put that guard down. But just really just look at your environment, look at the people that surround you, and start asking God to remove the bad seeds out of your life and replace it with the good seeds in your life. And you will see, I promise you, if you pray that and you ask God for that, I know many people who've done it, you know what I'm saying? And you will start seeing that the ones that are not for you, they stop calling, they stop texting, they disappear. But the ones who's really there for you, who really is going to be part of your journey, that's going to mentor you, you're going to start seeing them showing up. You're going to start seeing them being around, and just be open to it. You know what I'm saying? Be open to it and be honest with that person. Do what Anthony said. I love what Anthony brought up. He said that he tells people, what he expects from the friendship, right? Like, this is my expectation. You know what I'm saying? I need loyalty, I need love, and I need, what was the other thing, Anthony, you said?
Being consistent.
Being consistent. These are the expectations. It's okay to tell the person, this is what I expect from you. If you can fulfill it, great. If you can't, you can't. You know what I'm saying? And then and that's it. So I think, those are some of the ways, not all, but some of the ways I think that could kind of help.
What about you, Ant?
I think for me, this conversation reminded me of my one of my students. For 5 months, normally they get on the bus in the afternoon. He walks right past me. Nothing was like, there's something like socially wrong with him. So he just walked past me, and I was like, yo, give me a high five. He normally doesn't give me a high five. He wants to, but he just doesn't. And I told myself intentionally, I'm going to make sure I reach out to him. Even if it's a good morning, Like I said, he's not gonna reply back or anything of that nature. Good morning or high five. I'm gonna try every day. But I'm even gonna show him, hey, this is how we're gonna do it. I'm gonna teach him how to give a high five.
I love it.
And sometimes this is the most hardest thing because at this moment you're trying to a social cue. A social cue of just a high five. And why I brought him up because I'm being intentional.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to see that every day.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to be consistent and saying, yo, he said hello. He said, good afternoon, Mr. Thompson. And I could go back to a friendship like, yo, bro, like, yo, we're going to the gym. Or, yo, bro, we hanging out today. Yo, why Anthony always hitting me up, asking me how I'm doing? Because why? I'm being intentional of my brothers.
Right.
I love it, man.
I think for people that are in that position, I feel like I'm gonna speak from both sides. So for the person that's in that position, like Micheal Beasley, I
can't see the chat, man. So whatever's going on chat, I can't see it, man.
You see it on Thursday.
That means must be iron then.
People should put themselves. You should make yourself available. You know, I know it's a harder thing because you don't trust, but I think if you would get into like put yourself into hobbies and stuff like that. Get yourself into hobbies where it's groups. It's a group of people where you have to work on things together with people. If you want to be around people, that's what you do. And for the person that's on that other side that's engaging with the Micheal Beasley is to lightly do it and then grow that friendship and allow them to be able to have their voice within that exchange. Because a lot of times people assume what people are feeling. Like they'll assume like, oh yeah, we just assumed like a lot of time, like what they were saying to Micheal Beasley in that podcast was like, we had just assumed that you love basketball and you just were this great guy and da-da-da. But he was like, I was going through it. Like, y'all don't understand how I grew up. I didn't have covers. Me and my family didn't have covers when we grew up. Like the basic essentials we didn't have. My mom was always working. The basics. And I'm saying like, allow people to get there. You know, I've had friends share with me so much pain and so much thing, but the reason why they were able to share that is because I created the environment to do it. Mm-hmm. You know, and I allowed them. I listened. I stayed there. I've had friends share with me that they have diseases. I've had friends that share with me like they have different things going on in the past, like that they can't escape. Like they're going to therapy for things that they're trying to break, like all these different things. And the fact of the matter is I took time to do that leg work and did the simple thing, like showed up for them, told them what I could do and what I couldn't do, and just was consistent in that.
And I think one word that does come up in my head is also for the person is be okay to be vulnerable. And I'm gonna leave it like that. I'm not gonna give like a big thought, but just be okay to be vulnerable.
No, that's all it needs. Yeah. That's all it needs. Because there's 1,000 Micheal Beasleys in the NBA.
Facts.
1,000, even more than that.
Yeah, he's not the first.
Yeah, he's not gonna be the last.
And he definitely won't be the last. You know, and I just want to add it real quick too. Just show love. Show love.
It's not only the Brooklyn way.
Yeah, show love. Cause I think that's one of the easiest ways for people to open up. When you're always there to show love to somebody, like you'll start seeing that wall starts to come down little by little by little. Yeah. Genuine love. Yeah. Genuine love.
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh man, this is a great conversation.
Amazing
conversation, man.
This was a type of conversation I live for.
We want to just I really want to thank the Pivot Podcast for just having that conversation and all of them. I love their platform, love what they're doing, love that they're amazing guys, that they not just about like, this ain't just about sports. This is about
living
change.
Yeah.
You know, and it's about getting people the help they need. It's about being support for people. It's about love. It's about, you know, being community. I love that about that whole podcast. But we have a busy week coming up, you know, a real busy week. We're about to be busy this whole week. We know that it's Women's History Month this month. And so we have 2 back-to-back weeks, which is this week and then next week, where we will have women taking over Top Shelf Podcast on Thursday. Same time, 9 p.m. 2 magnificent women of God. Three. My math is off.
No worries. I got you, bro.
3 magnificent women of God. Warriors, if you will, you know, in the faith, but not only in the faith, but in their own respective fields.
Some people verbally.
Yeah. Ayana, Teray, and Cordelia, the 3 have all been a part of our IG Lives or in some capacity supporting Top Shelf Podcast. And we just look forward to hearing this conversation.
They have an amazing conversation that they were talking about. And you might see it after the live, what they're going to be talking about on Thursday.
And yet, look, it's going down. Just know that.
Yeah, man. It's going to be amazing. I'm excited for it.
I'm ready to be on the other side.
The ladies edition of Top Shelf Podcast.
That's it. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, it's going down. I'm excited, and I'm excited as well for Top Shelf Tuesday that's going down tomorrow. It's a holiday now. It's Top Shelf Tuesday every day. Just know that. Top Shelf Tuesday.
I got my hat too.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, check the house out. You know, Top Shelf Podcast, and this is the shirt.
Jeff got the hoodie on.
You know, we got a rep. Merch coming soon. Get ready.
Yes, sir.
Jeff, can you let them know where they can find the podcast tomorrow?
Oh, most definitely, man. They can find the podcast we're on YouTube. We are on Facebook. Yes, Facebook. Facebook does have podcasts on it. They created a space where you listen to podcasts on Facebook. So you can check us out on Facebook through our Facebook page. You can check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher. You can check us out also on our website. If you don't have a YouTube account, you don't have any of those type of subscriptions on any of those platforms, go to our website. It's free, www.dtopshelfpodcast.com, www.dtopshelfpodcast.com. And also you can check us out on Anchor. Anchor is actually the platform that we use to actually record a lot of our podcasts, especially for season 3. It's an amazing platform. And then with that, we have our own page on there. We definitely would love for you guys to check out our Anchor page and listen through there as well. There's a lot of perks, you know what I'm saying, that comes along with it. So it's just another way. So basically, there's just so many different ways you can listen to us and check us out. And we just appreciate the love and support that we receive from you guys. And tomorrow, new episode that is dropping.
Social media.
Tell us about it. When you listen to it, tell us about it. What you think about it?
Yes, please, definitely, please leave a comment on our IG page. You can check us out on our Facebook page as well. Please leave a comment. Give us any ideas, thoughts, feedback, any topics that you guys would love for us to talk about. Listen, we are here for you guys. We are here to make sure we continue to give you that top shelf experience. But there is no top shelf experience without you guys.
That is correct, man. Social media, make sure. I
can't see the chat, so whatever whoever's saying what, I can't see it, man.
It's only one person I think.
You said what?
Hats are coming soon.
Hats are coming soon. Merch is coming soon. But tomorrow's the episode, man. We are excited, and we tune in for next Monday. We're here, same time, same place. We're gonna have another magnificent conversation.
Yep.
And this has been another Top Shelf IG Live. Thank y'all all for tuning in. We appreciate y'all time, Village. Oh, before we go, what's y'all word of the week?
For me, is after this conversation, is definitely it's going to be friendship.
Ooh, I love it.
Friendship.
What's your stance?
For the last 3 weeks, it's been awareness, but I understand why God has given me that word. I'm transitioning my word this week to vulnerability.
Oh man, that's a good word, Ant. My word of the week, I would say would be open.
I love it, man.
Just be open.
I love it.
Yeah, and just for a lot of different reasons, just open. I got me. It's killing me, boy. Yo, her and George.
Now I see where George get it from.
George, like the birds.
It's the birds that's climbing through the chat.
Yo,
I can't see. I don't know why IG does this to me. Like it feels like every other IG live. After a while, I can't see the chat.
Oh,
so I don't know who's coming in, who's going out, who's saying what. I have no idea. But shout out to the birds, man.
It's
the
free merch. That's what she wants.
Oh, they want the free merch?
Yeah.
Don't worry, sis. We got you. Don't worry about it. Your service is not being done for. Don't worry. We got you. Don't worry. We talk offline. We got you.
We'll talk offline.
You got your answer. Are you back on? Do we got to talk to your agent?
Her agent is George. I can imagine George with a cell phone and some sunglasses and a suit. Like, yeah, I'll call y'all back tomorrow.
He said 3%.
Yeah.
Oh man.
She said Jeff understands the assignment. That's what she said, Jeff.
Now you know I got you, sis. Don't worry about it. I got you.
She said it's the not mention. It's not.
It might be 1099.
She said it's the not acknowledging women on Women's Month for me. I'm playing. Oh, nah, but we love y'all, Top Shelf Village, and we will see y'all same time next Monday.
Peace. And we see I got in terrain. Get Cordelia on Thursday.
On Thursday, definitely.
On Thursday.
Thursday. All right, we see y'all next Monday, y'all.
Peace. One love, y'all.
Peace. One love, baby.